Hello folks, well it's nice to be back in shirt sleeves, back in the warm. Hope you guys all had a good New Year's. I just thought I'd give you a quick update, or a short update on the progress with the chuck box, and also just go through, just to close off last year, a lot of the expedition food that I featured in some of my cooking videos. So box first. So yes, built the box first, and then you saw at the end of the last video, cut it in half down the tongue and groove seam. Fitted some hinges since you last saw it, just temporarily, just to check that everything's coming together as it should. Those are, they're looking a bit rusty, but they're reclaimed. Everything's, I've recycled as much as I can. I made it out of white pine from a cupboard, and this is a bit of 1/4 inch marine ply, so it's not quite what they call frame and panel construction, but or it kind of is, but with a big frame, I guess. So the idea is, I can do this with one hand. See that, get enough stand off here, so you can see it's come along there. Let's see if I can stand back a bit. So you can see the idea was that instead of just a drop front like a lot of them have got, I've got the drop down board inside between the two. And the idea is it makes a kind of a windbreak. I'm not going to have legs for it. The scheme is to sort of make up a bamboo tripod for it, or even hang it from a tree. So you can see that I've made use of these spring buttons to hold everything in. You see my newly acquired campfire toaster there, and the plates, that's just the first of it. And some shelving. And that's it. That's as far as I've got so far. Little way to go yet, but there it is. The work surface is hinged. You see these are odd size hinges, but that's because I'm using what I've got, just stuff that's been recycled off of old doors and cupboards and things. So not yet a thing of sublime beauty, but it's getting there. So I thought I'd start the year off by doing a review of all the what I called the expedition foods that I went through on my cooking videos during the past year, 2017. What I would call, remember the rule for that was it had to survive for a minimum of 3 days unrefrigerated here in the tropics. So we're just going to go through that, and I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that everybody's seen, or many that have seen before, but okay, we're starting at the dried end. These old school dried red beans, black beans, any beans, peas, split peas, that kind of thing. People tend to overlook it because I think it takes a bit too long to cook, but you can rehydrate them in your wide-mouthed water bottle that you may have seen in my, what was that? I think there was chili beans that we did in that. No, it was stewed pork rib. Split pea powder makes it a lot easier to reconstitute. You can add it to soups or stews. Just a handy thing, and it takes a lot less cooking. You don't have to rehydrate anything than split peas. Saltfish, remember that one. Salt shrimp, that was the stuff I brought back from Guyana, but you can get it here also. And the old favourites, you know, the dried pastas and things, flavoured pastas. You know, they call that thing rice on the side, creamy chicken. There's no chicken in it, of course, but it's got a bit of flavour to it. And this down here is blanched and dehydrated potato and onion and garlic, which is also something that's very handy. You can reconstitute it to make anything from hash browns in the morning to adding it to soups, etc. I love these things, these Meals 88. They're a real good thing that you can get here. They come in a number of different flavours. These are Thai red curry and sweet and sour chicken, but it's essentially MRE style. You get 2 pouches, you can get a little bowl and a spoon to eat it out of. 1 pouch has got the main meal and 1 pouch has got rice. You can just heat it and eat it. These are a similar thing, made by Patax, I think. Again, these are handy, but there's no meat or real vegetable in them. They're just a sauce, but it's something that just saves a bit of time on the trail, and of course fuel as well. Same thing with the rice. These Meal 88, it's pre-cooked rice, so that saves a bit of time. The minute rice, bit more cooking, but it's very handy. You can boil it in the bag. Again, it keeps the washing up afterwards down. I like these instant noodles because they're a little smaller than your average ramen, so I can't eat a whole ramen, especially if I'm adding stuff to it like tuna or things like that. Speaking of tuna, doesn't have to come in tins. They do a great variety, and it doesn't have to be tuna either. There's mackerel fillets in soft packs, ideal, light tuna, flavoured tunas, even they do a pink salmon. Oh, there's a pack of prunes hiding behind there, look, for dessert. Another favourite of mine is packet olives. They'll keep forever, and they're very nice to have for a change, you know, when food's getting boring. I discovered these on my trip to Canada. These are chestnuts in a soft pack. Weren't terribly expensive, so I thought I'd bring some back. And look, you can even get beetroot in a soft pack, which will survive unrefrigerated. Tomato paste. I'm envious of you guys up in the States that can get that in packs, in the little, you know, single serving packs. There's applesauce, great idea for dessert, again keeps forever. And we're on to the tin stuff. I mean, I don't carry too much tin stuff unless it's a sort of a day trip or whatever, or it's stuff that you can eat on your first day or two of a longer trip. But this is that the deviled ham stuff. There's, you know, alternatives to Spam. Tomato paste again, ham, roast beef in gravy, that's a favourite of mine. Beef stew, that's another no fuss thing to do. One of my recent discoveries is corned beef in a soft pack. I don't think I can get this here. I actually brought this back from Canada, but that's another good idea as far as I'm concerned. And these are some of my faves. Fray Bentos tinned pies. They also do puddings, steak and kidney pudding, chicken pies. Of course, it comes complete in the container that you're going to cook it in. So, if you're clever, you can cook it right there in its can. It's designed to be baked in there, actually. So that's it. That was sort of the highlights, I guess, or a great deal of the what I called expedition food for my Canteen Cup series and cooking videos. And now we move on to the scary end of town. These are things that I may even call this series something like Canteen Cup Cringe. I've got Spam, Chinese Spam, never tried it, try it next time. Here's something I've never seen before. I got all of these from an authentic Chinese shop here in town. Stewed pork chops in a can. That'll be a first for me, so that's coming up. And this one is the star of the show. This is, well, I can only describe it as mummified chicken. That is actually a chicken leg, well, allegedly a chicken leg in there. It's feeling pretty light. It must have been pretty well desiccated and no doubt loaded with chemicals, because as you can see, it keeps without refrigeration. And that pack, I'm going to try that. Not a word of English on the pack anywhere, so no idea really what there is in there. But anyway, that's coming up. I just thought I'd close off last year before we started on this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.